Okay, I am Shoshana Begay, and I work with Indian Education with Eileen and Natalie and Annalisa. I am a teacher here, and what I do is I head the after-school labs at 3 locations. We have one at Cherry Creek Elementary in Springville from 3:30 to 5:30. We have another location here at Larson Elementary from 3 to 5. And then we just newly added a location in Santaquin for the families that are south. And that's at Apple Valley Elementary. And that one is 3:15 to 5:15. So we would love for your students to come and join us. We do fun activities there. We help the students with their homework and reading. We have snack. We help them do cultural things such as arts and crafts, plays, and so much more. And so I had the honor of helping the students do the moccasin game play. And the moccasin game play is a Navajo winter story. And this story can only be told during the winter time. And how we know it's winter, of course, is when we see snowflakes outside. And once we hear that first thunder, that lets us know that winter is over and spring is about to start, and we can't tell this story anymore. That is the Navajo way of life. So the kids actually have performed this at 2 other places because they are so good at it. They performed at Adopt a Native Elder Storytelling Night in Salt Lake City a couple weeks ago. And then they were invited to perform this at Caucus Day in Salt Lake City. And they performed it in front of tribal leaders from the 5 tribes of Utah and our governor. And so we are so grateful that we get to perform it for the Neville School District. So we're going to start the play. In the beginning, the earth was not divided into day and night as it is today. The daytime animals and the nighttime animals could not agree on how the earth would be organized. Of course, the daytime animals wanted to have daylight all the time, but the nighttime animals wanted the world to remain dark. The giant taught the animals how to play the moccasin game and used the game to decide how many days and nights would be organized. This is how it happened. One morning, the giant appeared over the hill. She called out to the animals, "I have an important game to teach you. Who will play the moccasin game with me?" The animals were afraid of the giant. They told her, "We can't. We don't know how to play the game." The giant begged and begged and begged and begged. She begged for 4 days. Finally, they gave in. The giant was ready to teach the game. The giant had all the things they needed to play the game. She held an eagle feather in one hand and something that looked like a rainbow. In the other hand, she had brought moccasins, a ball made from the center of a yucca stem, and 102 yucca sticks made from yucca leaves for keeping score. She also held 2 long cedar sticks for pointing and tapping on the moccasins. The giant then explained how to play the game. She divided the animals into 2 teams. with the daytime animals on the south and the nighttime animals on the north. She asked some of the animals to volunteer their moccasins to play in the game. They needed 8 moccasins, 4 for each team. This game is not just for fun, cautioned the giant. There's a prize for winning or losing. If the daytime animals win the game, the earth will always be day. If the nighttime animals win, it will always be night. To get things started, Antelope flipped a corn husk into the air. It had a black side and a gray side. As she flipped it into the air, the animals began to shout. It landed on the gray side, so the daytime animals were first. The animals on both sides were very excited to play the game. They cheered and they shouted, and the game was on. Bat spread her wings out wide so the teams couldn't see where the yucca ball was hidden. But Coyote was there, and she became a nuisance. Coyote wanted to play the game too, but she couldn't decide what game she wanted to join. Each time one team pulled ahead, Coyote switched sides and started howling. She did lots of switching and lots of howling. To this day, Coyote howls both day and night. The game went on and on. Badger fell asleep. He was getting so bored and tired. Coyote nudged him, and Badger didn't want to wake up Coyote. So Coyote started making fun of Badger, saying, "Badger, you have bad breath. You are just snoring. You are not that cute." The animals laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. They thought it was so funny. The animals played for 4 days, and the nighttime animals were determined to win. But so were the night animals. Nobody was winning on the 4th day. Owl decided that the game had gone long enough. "Let's call it quits," she said. "The 2 teams are even, and no one is ever going to win at this rate. Let's go home and call it a tie." Since neither of the day animals nor the night animals won the moccasin game, the earth has both night and day, evenly divided in harmony and balance. The daytime animals can hunt during the day, and the nighttime animals can hunt at night. The first moccasin game was over, and the earth will never be the same. Okay, we would like to introduce our cast, and you guys can give them a round of applause. Hey, we have Ava, come to the middle, as Giant. We have Emerson as Antelope. We have BJ as Badger. We have Stevie as Rabbit. We have Jericho as Eagle. Woo! We have Hazelin as Coyote. We have Malachi as a gopher. We have Margaret as the little bat. And we have Amanda as the raccoon. And then we have Cherokee as the owl. And then we have Nina, who is the cute little bear. And then we have Malik over there. Woo! All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bashichin topaha tashiche na ke tashanella diet au na hoka dinane hastin nishla I am Nearwater, born for the Northern Utes. My paternal grandparents are from the Edgewater clan, and my maternal grandparents are from the Spanish, from Santa Fe. And my project this year is I want to focus on the erasure of Indigenous truth throughout the public school education. I grew up in Utah, which is a very Mormon-based, colonized state, and it's something that was very different for me to grow up in, being a full Indigenous man. It's something that has little to no information about Native Americans. Growing up into the culture, it actually got me a different perspective on how the culture should be treated and how you should express it. And it's something that isn't being taught in our life, and it's something that we really need to get back in touch with. Natives actually contributed a lot to the American society, and it's something that isn't being taught. I mean, my language was the language that was forbidden to speak, was the language that saved this nation. It's something that I really feel I have my right to share, because I believe that I was put on this earth in between the four sacred mountains to preserve and protect my land. I've honestly felt really empowered by this whole trip, and it's honestly inspired me to go shoot for more things. You should be able to go back to good medicine and go back to ceremonies and singing and dance to be able to give honor and respect, or the teachings that were taught back down to us from ages, from years, from generations. And it's something that I feel I have the right to teach and get that good medicine out, to let everyone know that there are good medicines and there are good teachings out there. Do it yourself. No one else is gonna do it for you. And that's something that has stuck with me for a long time. And I feel like I have that right and I have that responsibility now. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Shakota Star Billy. I am Navajo and I grew up in this program. I think I remember last storytelling and remember a lot of your kids for sure. So what I'm talking about today is I am Running Strong's Dream Starter 2020, so it's been a little while since 2020, but because of COVID, I've been doing my dream for a little extended time. But so what Running Strong is and who they are. Running Strong is a nonprofit organization. It's run by Billy Mills and Sydney Mills. Billy Mills is an Olympic racer who won the 10,000 meter run in Tokyo Olympics. They've been doing this since 2015. They have given out $10,000 grants to 10 individuals in each year. And I was one of the lucky participants who got it in 2020. So my dream was to teach my community about Hojong. Hojong means having peace, balance, beauty, and harmony. So being at one with yourself and the world around you. I wanted to teach this through the 5 types of wellness, so physical, mental, spiritual, cultural, and environmental. And I got to work with these great kids in this great program. So for spiritual, I wanted to teach traditional stories and how to reconnect with our roots. So we were talking about stories of how the world was created, and where I'm from is Chinle. That is my reservation. And in Canyon Duché, there is the story of Spider Woman, and she is the one who taught us how to weave. For physical, I really wanted to teach the kids the importance of how much you should actually exercise a day. So you should get between 30 to 90 minutes of exercising Doesn't matter if it's like walking or just kind of playing with your kids, because I know that's a workout too. We did a prayer run in 2021 in June. We did, I believe it was 13 miles or so. And to watch the kids run and participate in that was amazing. To hear the stories that come from everyone, just how it has impacted them. So I heard a lot that it helped them, like feeling accomplished, like being able to do something hard, because you know that feeling you get when you do something super hard you never thought you could do. It just feels amazing. It just brings up your spirits a lot, and it makes you feel happy, and your body and your spirit feels great. And I know it also helped people understand the nature around them, something you usually wouldn't see when you go running, or you'll see the nature around you and how appreciative they are about it, and like how you wouldn't do that on a normal day basis in a city. Being thankful to run, especially for people who are older and they don't have a chance to run. I know a lot of kids would run for their ancestors, for their grandparents, just people who aren't able to do it, and them just feeling like, I can do this for you. Let me show you. And I know exercising in general releases stress. It releases your thoughts. Like, you can clear your mind when you exercise with running or working out at a gym, going on a walk, biking. I wanted to do running because I know a lot of kids were in sports, and this would help them with their sports and understand more about it. And just teaching them the old ways. I know a lot of the elders are running in the morning before the sun comes up. Their grandma would come and wake them up and say, go greet the sun, go out and run. Just to show appreciation for coming up again. I know my dad misses home a lot. He is from Chinle. He got placed here on the placement program, and he just was like, Grandma would tell us to go run in the morning, go show your appreciation for it, go show you're still here, you're awake, you're ready for the day, okay? Here are some more pictures. So we were running for West Mountain. West Mountain has petroglyphs and other things you can see on the mountain. And a lot of people go up there to go shooting. And we're trying to preserve the petroglyphs and show that, like, this is history. You don't want to destroy history. It is something we can't ever get back. So we had some archaeologists come and teach us about it and tell the kids, like, don't leave your mark here. Just look, admire, so the next person can do the same thing just like that. Here's some more physicals, like dancing and teaching the kids to dance. I personally played soccer my whole life, and the two pictures in the top corner are from Bears Ears when we got to go learn more traditional games up there. They play a game where you have a team running away from the other team, and it's what you needed for that day. So my brother got corn. That is what he chose to go chase after. And so he was so excited when he got it. For mental, I know a lot of our community suffers from mental illnesses and other things like substance abuse, depression. Natives are actually one of the highest in obesity. So I wanted to bring awareness to our kids and say, hey, here we are. We need to change our ways just a little bit to become healthier and promote good health in general. So I brought in a speaker to speak about suicide because I know that's been a really big thing, especially when COVID was happening. We were all trapped at home. We couldn't, ask for help. A lot of people thought they couldn't ask for help, but everybody is more than welcome to ask. And I think kids, to understand that, they just need to know that there are safe places for you to go and tell and be acknowledged that, yes, this is a safe place I can come and tell my story to. Environmental, I did a spiral garden up at Thanksgiving Point, and I wanted to get traditional seeds and just kind of give the kids something that they could go grow on their own, because we all know food tastes so much better when you grow it on your own. So this is our garden on the left side when we planted everything by seed that year, and this is it starting to grow. It was actually really surprising to see it blossom like it did. It was the top right corner is what the final result was. We had corn stalks that were so tall. They were taller than me. And I mean, that made me feel a little short, but it's okay. That was good. So what we did in the middle was the three sisters. So we had the corn, the beans, and the squash all in the center of that garden. And we did amaranth, where you can use the stalks to dye your wool. And then we've had cilantro, chilies, just stuff you would use in like baking food for your families. It was really cool to watch the kids like participate in this. And my favorite picture of all is that sunflower. I only grew one sunflower, and it was probably the prettiest sunflower you could ever see. But the kids were so excited to see the garden grow. And this brings us into the next thing of learning about healthy foods, because we will need a healthy diet to keep our energy up and just keep our bodies healthier to do what we need to do. So we brought in speakers to talk about healthy eating. They got to cut up fruit and put it in water, so they know like, hey, we can put fruit in water and make it taste better if you don't like plain water. I mean, just the different uses for the plants. We grew cute little watermelons, and inside you would think they would be red, but they were actually yellow watermelon. And it's because we used a certain seed, for a Navajo seed, and so it grew us Navajo watermelons that were yellow inside. We also did a kneel down bread. So what we had to do for that is we had to dig a 6-foot hole or so, maybe a little less, 6 inches probably, 6 to 10 inches. And you would put fire down and burn it and keep a fire going for about 2 hours to kind of sterilize where you're gonna be cooking your meal. And so we did kneel down bread is where you will shuck your corn, get all of the corn off the cob, and then we put it in this grinder so it kind of made like a mush. And then we would put them in the little corn husks and put it in on a tray, and then we put the tray in the ground, and we had it baking for about an hour or two, and then they came out to be these cute little kneel down breads, and they look like tamales kind of, but with corn, and it was super good, super delicious. For our cultural, I wanted the kids to learn how to dance. I know for me that was a really big thing because I got to be a part of my culture and also share it. So every grade I was in, any talent show, I would either fancy dance or jingle dance because I was so proud that's what I've learned. I was so proud of myself. So this is me showing my Jingle Girls I got to teach last year, teaching the Jingle Girls what my outfit was, what it looked like. So women have jingle, fancy, and traditional and hoop. So each of those are different categories of dance you can learn. Most traditional dancers are more of our elders. It's a slower paced dance. Fancy is high-paced endurance. You need to be at your highest. Jingle is probably moderate. You still need really high endurance, but that's the one I dance right now. Men have fancy, same thing, super high endurance. We're making bustles right now for some of our young men. Some families are here together on Tuesdays making bustles for their kids. Men's traditional and hoop and grass. So here's more pictures of us doing, so in this left corner is the men's fancy bustle. You can see it sprawled out. And then there's more jingle. And at the end of the year of Camp Eagle, every June, we have a end of year powwow just so the kids can come and show off their moves they've learned. I know they wake up at 8 o'clock. They're here by 8 o'clock, ready to dance, ready to go. So excited to show it at the end of the month. I personally like to have my kids learn how to be leaders and be self-motivated. And this is us in farm country where our garden was. They were teaching the farm country people, like anybody who came down, they would teach, oh, we're using this plant for wool, and then we would have this little, it wasn't a basket, but it kind of showed how you would keep a pattern in weaving. So it was just 2 popsicle sticks. You can kind of make Christmas ornaments out of them. And then we also had the cradle board and just kind of presenting, this is who we are, this is what we're doing here. And we do this on Saturdays. Some other stuff that we've done, Running Strong is a great organization. We have done a clothes drive for us. So people would come in, trade their clothes for things that would fit people next year. We have our shoe giveaway, backpacks, dental kits, and then baby diapers this year, just to help families out throughout the year this year. I know I love the dental kits because they give me floss. I always forget to buy floss at the market. When COVID hit, we did a COVID food kit for the families, so they would stay in their cars. We were all wearing masks, sanitized, but just to help people get through some of that hard time, we did this food kit and coats. We had the Watershed Festival this last year. It was pretty new. I actually work for a water district, so I got the chance to come down and talk about what we actually do. And we had Shannon, my coworker. She brings water, and she went all over the place to find the new water. There was Go Shoot water, which was a little saltier than your normal water from the tap. And you just got to taste different places. It was really awesome. We butchered a sheep for the first time all by ourselves. We usually have people come in and teach us how to do it, but this year we actually did it on our own. And I was so excited to do it because we finally have learned it ourselves to butcher a sheep. But I'm just so thankful for this program and the families who participate in it. This is a big part of my community, and I'm just glad that we make this footprint here. And I love sharing. I'm more than happy to share more stories if you come and ask me or contact my mom to give you my information. Anybody's welcome to talk to me. I'm usually free after work, so. This year, we are still doing the Thanksgiving Point Garden. And if you would like to volunteer, you can come find me. I'll give you my information, or Natalie or Eileen. But volunteers are super helpful, especially up at that garden. It is at Thanksgiving Point, so if anybody needs rides or anything, I'm more than happy to come pick you up and we can go do it. We'll be weeding it and planting it here in probably May, the end of May, June. So keep a watch out for a flyer or something. But yeah, so thank you guys for coming tonight.